Hey, welcome to Half the Battle, and welcome to our first look at G.I. Joe in space! Today, we'll be taking a look at the Astro Viper.
Cobra's very own, Cobra-naut. Yeah, that's what they called him.
Even though the word Cobra-naut technically means one who sails on cobras. But I bet it sounded cool. So, let's see what we've got here.
Released in 1988 with all original body parts, this guy was the first space-themed Cobra figure. And about bloody time too, since it finally gave the Defiant something to fight. No, not that one. I meant the G.I. Joe space shuttle that came out a year before. Cobra usually gets the more futuristic looking designs, and this guy is no exception. He really looks nothing like a traditional astronaut, but he does look very cool. And I dig the color scheme, it feels pretty right.
He comes with lots of cool stuff. Lots of easily to lose stuff. Small little bits. So good luck finding one complete on the secondary market.
Take his backpack. Especially take a look at the little gun barrels. They are a particular joy to hunt down, as they helpfully detach from the backpack, never to be seen again. So, if you do find one with a complete backpack, it's well worth it. It has lots of moving parts and is beautifully designed. His helmet looks pretty unique and even somewhat menacing, and it has the neat feature of snapping onto the figure's collar, not on his head, so there's no chance of it damaging his head sculpt, unlike some other figures I can mention. If there's anything bad to say about it, I guess I can't deny that out of all the helmets in the G.I. Joe line, this one resembles a bucket the most.
There's one problem with this figure though. Like the Annihilator before him, this guy is supposed to fly. So you can imagine what kids did. Yeah, I'm not gonna be throwing this one out the window. For one thing, there's no more soft snow outside, and for another, unlike the Annihilator, this guy is far more brittle in one specific spot. Can you guess where?
Yeah, his waist piece is very prone to breaking for some reason, so you'll often come across a broken figure. I think it's a combination of the plastic used and the fact that kids would, throw the damn thing.
You know, when I started doing this show about a toy line of the 80s, I didn't think I'd be talking about crotches quite this much.
Anyway, there was a second version of this figure, using the same mold, but colored light blue with gold highlights, as part of the Star Brigade line in 1993.
That's right, the G.I. Joe toy line got an entire subdivision dedicated to fighting in space. Because that's what I think when I think elite military unit.
This figure isn't bad, not at all really, but I prefer the original color scheme. Also, instead of coming with an appropriate, intricate accessory like the original's backpack, we get... Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now. Alcohol is a miracle drug. Let's move on. The mold for the Astro Viper was used one more time, in 2001 to be precise, to create the Shadow Viper, an infiltration specialist. Because a spacesuit turns into a stealth suit so easily? The repaint is decent enough. In fact, I think the only reason I prefer the original is because of nostalgia. This is a good-looking figure. But, more importantly, they also gave him back his original cool backpack. You know, instead of that orange crap... No, Timur, don't think about it. Go to your happy place. Moving on.
As far as I can tell, Astro Vipers never appeared in the comic or in the cartoon. So, we've only got the file card to go on. And guess what? This is another one of those best of the best of the best type guys.
You start off with an ordinary Air Viper, then it digivolves into a Strato Viper, and then finally into an Astro Viper. Yes, Astro Vipers are chosen from the best of the Strato Vipers, who are chosen from the best of the Air Vipers. You know, it's funny how these elite of the elite Cobra troops often get the crap beaten out of them by one guy, usually Sergeant Slaughter.
Anyway, according to the file cards, Astro Vipers pilot Cobra's launch and recovery vehicles in space, and they also repair their satellite network.
That's nice and all, except Cobra never had any real spaceships in the toy line to counter the G.I. Joe Defiant. Well, they did get this thing in 1993, the Invader. 5 freaking years after the original Astro Viper came out, but, just look at it. So, kids finally get a Cobra astronaut in 1988, but they don't get anything to put him in to take him into space. Would it have really killed them to produce a spacecraft for Cobra? It didn't even have to be anywhere near the size of the Defiant, just something. Okay, maybe I'm just projecting a disappointment from childhood here, so let's go to the conclusion, shall we? The original Astro Viper is a nice looking figure with lots of play value. The second one is okay, but suffers from not having the awesome backpack. He had the...
Damn you, Orange! Ah! You know, my neighbors think I'm weirder and weirder each week.